Okay, I'll be doing many more videos on how to repair appliances. So subscribe. Hit the like button if you like the videos. And comment good or bad. Also, if I use a part to repair the appliances, I'll put a link in the description so you can buy from this channel. Let's get started. In this video, I'll be showing you how to remove and install an igniter for a Kenmore Elite gas dryer. I have this dryer on wheels for display purposes. First thing you want to do is you want to spin it around, the dryer around, and that gives you access to the 3 mounting screws that mount the lid to the body of the dryer. You got 1, 2, and 3 mounting screws. These are usually Phillips heads. In this case, they're not, because this dryer, we're missing a lot of screws, but more than likely you're gonna have Phillips heads for that, these mounting screws. Now that the 3 mounting screws are removed, you're gonna want to jar it loose, kind of shake it, or you might use your palm to push up from the back to jar it loose, and then just slide it out and remove it. Okay, I'm in the rear of the dryer, going towards the front. There's a Phillips head screw that needs to be removed that secures the control panel to the dryer. So that has to be removed. Time to remove the steamer drawer. You pull it out, and what you're going to need is a long screwdriver, because it has a guide, plastic guide in there, and the screwdriver will wedge the plastic guide up to get it over the metal bracket. And there's your little plastic piece right there, and you just push up on it so it'll go over the housing right there, and it'll pull on out. That kind of just secures so the drawer don't fall all the way out. So just wedge it up. Okay, 1 and 2. Those 2 screws need to be removed. That secures the left part of the display board for the dryer. The Phillips head screws. Now I'm gonna remove the display board. They had little tabs that you can push in, and as you push them in, kind of peel the display board away. The best thing to use really is a putty knife to slide in between the bracket and the display board, and it'll work a little better. But just push the tabs down, and once you got the tabs down, it'll come right on out. I'm using a screwdriver, but I recommend a putty knife, which will work a little better. And see how it just, once you kind of get the tabs down, it'll just pull itself away from the board, from the bracket. And yeah, here's the left side of that display board being peeled off too. Just like the other side, just slide the screwdriver in between the bracket and the panel, and it'll pop right off. There's 3 connections that need to be disconnected. Here's one. Right here, I'm gonna just press down on the tab and pull it. Right here, I'm just gonna do with my fingers. The fingers are a little harder because the tabs don't really cooperate, but you can do it. You know, smaller hands will help, but just depress the tab like that and pull apart. Depress the tab and just pull apart. Now we're going to push the harnesses through the bracket. Both this harness here, just pull it out the clamp. Just push it through the bracket because it's coming out. You don't want to get damaged when you pulling the display board off. And you do the same thing with the other harness. Just kind of push it through the hole, and then you'll be able to pull the display off safely without damaging the wires. And here's just a front view of what I just did. You know, just the harnesses are free and clear. Make sure they're coming through that hole without being snagged and damaging the wire. So that's just a front view of what I just did. Okay, we're gonna disconnect the inner light switch. Just press and pull. Okay, you're gonna remove the 2 pillar screws, mid bracket. That's 1, and that's 2. Okay, removing the 4 screws that mount the door to the bracket. 1. 2. 3. And 4. Now removing 1, 2, 3, 4. These screws that mount the door onto the body of the dryer. 1. 2. 3. And 4. Once the screws are removed, lean the top of the door towards you, and what you're going to do is disconnect the door switch. Do not remove the door before you disconnect the door switch. You don't want to damage the door switch. Now lift up the door off the grooves and put it to the side. Okay, we're going to remove the display bracket. 1, 2, 3, 4 screws. Mount that bracket. So there's 1. There's 2. There's 3. And there's 4. And now we just slide the bracket up. They have little gouges on the left and the right side. They slide it, and you just slide it up and just remove the bracket. The bracket is free of the body of the dryer now. Okay, here's the front view of removing the panel display bracket. Just kind of push up on it to get it slotted out. And once you pop it up, there you go. Now that's one slot out. You lift the slot out of the other side, and vamoose is off. I put left, up, top, and right to show you which side to make sure you put it on back on correctly. Okay, this white part is the bulkhead. It has 4 screws that mount it to the body of the dryer. And so you're gonna remove the 4 screws, which isn't a problem. There's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now before you remove the bulkhead, you have to remove the moisture sensor connector, because that's still connected to the bulkhead. You don't want to damage that. So just like everything, press in and pull. Now it's time to remove the bulkhead. lift up on the bulkhead because it's slotted also. Lift up on it. Lift up on the right side. Now the bottom part might be a little difficult because the rollers are underneath the drum, so you might have to fiddle with it a little bit, but that's how you remove it. Okay, we're going to remove the belt off the idler pulley. Just grab the right hand, the plastic pulley, with the left hand, shove the idler pulley to the left, and that'll give you slack to take the belt off the pulley. Now just slide the drum out of the body of the dryer. Make sure the belt is clear of some of the tools so it'll come on out free. To remove the igniter, okay, gonna press down the tab and detach. So you got it disconnected now. Now you're gonna use a Phillips stubby to unscrew the head of the screw. Be very careful here because the igniter will break if it touches anything. So you have to be really careful. Slide it up very carefully and slide it out. Now you can slide it back in position to reinstall. Slide it back in position on the little bar. Get your Phillips screw. And righty-tighty. And make sure the Phillips is tight where the igniter can't move. Lock it in position. And reconnect. Okay, we're going to put the drum back in. Put the belt around the drum. There have a black mark that shows where the belt should be at on the drum. Pick the drum up with the belt, slide it in, push it back as far as possible, and on the rollers back there, and you have it lined up right now. Okay, here's the inside view of the body of the dryer, what it looks like putting the drum in from the inside of the dryer. You're lifting it up. Have the belt tight up against the drum. Grab it from the top and slide the drum all the way to the rear of the dryer. See, you got to be careful with the belt. If you grip it tight, you won't have to worry about it catching any parts on the drum. So now it's in place, and what you're going to do is you're going to wrap the belt around the motor pulley, which is the pulley to the left with my right hand right there. That's the pulley, the motor pulley. Then you're going to push the idler pulley all the way to the left and slide it onto the idler pulley. And then you're going to spin it to make sure that it's on track. It's not on wrong. Sometimes those belts flip around and pop off. So you got to make sure the grip side is on the dryer all the way 100%, not flipping sideways. And spin it manually to make sure that it's on really good. Okay, we're installing the bulkhead. The key to the bulkhead is to get those the 3 rollers underneath the dryer. That sits, the dryer drum sits on top of the rollers. So that's the tricky part. So the bulkhead is slotted. You just slide it in the slots, and the bottom part is the one you have to lift up inside the drum to be able to put the drum on top of the rollers to align it. And once you had a drum on top of the rollers, that you got the job done. Now mount the 4 screws to mount the bulkhead back in position. And yeah, basically you just have to, I usually put the top of the bulkhead on first, and then I put the bottom. I lift up the inner part of the dryer to get on top of the rollers and align it, and then you're successful. Okay, now we're gonna put on the top bracket. As you can see, I have left, top, and right to tell you exactly how it goes on. Now, putting this bracket on, the key to this is the steam drawer housing over there to the left right there. Once you slide that steam drawer housing in there, it should lock in place. A lot of times it won't fit that good until you get it in there real tight, and once you got it in there, it'll slide on pretty good. Now you slot the door back on, pick the door up, put it in the grooves at the bottom, and you lift up on that bracket on the right side. That kind of locks the door in place temporarily. It's a little metal piece that holds it in place. That's why you have to lift it up sometimes. Very important to reconnect the door switch now and the light before you mount it onto the body of the door, onto the body of the dryer. Be difficult. Now we got 4 Phillips head screws that mount the top of the door to the body of the dryer. That's 1. That's a 2. That's 3. And that's 4. Okay, we're gonna mount the 4 Phillips head screws into the door. That will mount the door onto the body of the dryer. Just 4 Phillips head screws, really easy. Remember to like, subscribe, comment to this video to help out with the algorithm, if this video helps. So, mount these 4 screws, really simple. And before you know it, they're mounted. Now mounting the 2 screws for the mid-range bracket, left side and the right side. Installing the control board now. Want to slide both the wire harnesses through the holes on the left side and the right side. And pull them snug so they won't get caught up behind the board. So slide both sides through the hole there. Align the display board in the grooves on the top of the door of the dryer. You can snap them in place. The tabs will, you know, they snug once you snap them in place. Mount the screws for the steamer drawer. Okay, here's a front view of the 4 screws that go into the top bracket. Okay, we got 1, 2, 3, 4 screws I got to mount on this bracket. This is the bracket with the display board on it. This connects it to the body. 1, 2, 3, 4 screws in that bracket. Then you have one that screws into the display board. All right. Okay, finally, we're here at the lid. I'm gonna lift the lid up. Lay it down on the top. adjust the left and the right side. Make sure it is aligned right. Once you align it, tap it from the rear to push it towards the front. Make sure the gap between the display board and the lid has no gaps. And no gaps, you want to mount these screws to lock it in. Okay, you want to mount those 3 screws in there from the rear. One. 2. 3. Job well done. I'll be doing many more how-to step-by-step videos on how to repair appliances. So hit the like button, comment, good or bad, subscribe to the station so you can see these videos. And if I am using a part to repair the appliance, a link will be in the description so you can buy from this channel. Have a good one.